Welcome to episode 37. Mellow greetings. This week we will look at the charge circuit. I'm going to say charge circuit part 1 because I won't actually finish it this week. I'll just kind of like talk through it and see where I've got to with it. In addition to the charge circuit, we'll tidy up the front of the bike in terms of the indicator positions. I've decided to change those again. Headlight wiring. In fact, the whole front of the bike wiring I'll cover today. Tidying that up in preparation for creating my actual loom. As opposed to this unholy spaghetti mess. So, okay, let's start with that. Okay, so adding the charge circuit. So as you know, I've got this modern regulator rectifier. In fact, it's this one here. It's an Electrosport ESR 450 and it comes with fairly simple plug and play fit instructions. There's a whole bunch of wires come off here. Let me kind of show you how I see it on here. So I've got my reg rec, which I'll do as that, and we've got a stator on the alternator. Okay, there are 3 yellow wires which go to the stator, and there's 2 of the wires. There's a brown wire which goes to the DF terminal. And there's a black wire that goes to D-. And that's pretty much what that is on this diagram. Okay, but then there's an orange, green and a red wire coming off it as well. So the orange wire goes to the ignition, which I actually think is that one there. Yeah, so that's the orange wire. The green wire goes to the negative terminal, and the red wire goes to the positive terminal. Okay, that's red. That one's green. Now then, the bit I've not sussed out yet is that somewhere in here, because on the airhead you need to have a charging lamp to draw some current for the to get the alternator, to get the charging system started. So I haven't got a gen lamp, so I've done some research and I've gone with a resistor. This is a 10 watt 47 ohm aluminium housed resistor. I use Snowbum's encyclopedic knowledge of airheads. I'll post a quick link to it now. And he recommends this. I've just not worked out where in the circuit that goes. It goes on one of those 3, but to be confirmed. Okay, let's look at that on the bike. So my reg rec's up here. And the cable is quite a long cable. In fact, there's 2 cables, and they'd actually reach the entire length of the bike if we wanted them to. So these will get chopped down, but essentially the 3 yellows will go on these 3 here. Yep, that 1, 2. 3, okay. The brown wire goes on the DF, which is this one, and the black wire goes on the D, which is that one, D- even. Yeah, so what I'll do is I'll cut about 1 meter off this cable and re-terminate those ends, but that's where they go. Okay, the other bit here, which is, again, it's even longer, this piece. So So we said red and green to the battery and orange to ignition. Again, this is something I won't be able to test out until the engine is running. I actually won't connect to the battery. I want to get the engine running first and then check the voltage output before I connect it to the battery. Okay, so that's the charge circuit. Oh yes, and also we need to work out where the jan lamp's going. Somewhere in this circuit. Okay. Right then, in preparation for getting the whole thing started. Sorry, I'm getting a bit of a bad throat here. Yeah, in preparation for getting everything fired up engine-wise, I'm going to start at the front of the bike and work my way back wiring-wise and start to get this spaghetti kind of in some sort of loom. Once that's done, I'll get some fuel rigged up, get the cars back on, get it fired up, and let's see if that tacho works, which we haven't wired up yet, single wire, remember, and let's see if that reg works as well in terms of charging. So that's my next big job, but what I'm going to do first of all is basically tidy up all this wiring and make sure everything's in the right place, etc. There's one more thing. So, get my lighting right. Just when you think you know what you're doing, a bit more research pops out of your radar. Okay, so what I noticed when I fired this up, and I've taken the power off it, is when I hit the indicator lights, etc., or put the main beam on, the lights didn't appear in the display. So a bit of reading the instructions, and the Motor Gadget instructions aren't that great really when it comes to detail. I realised I needed a missing component, breakout box, and that orange wire that we tucked away out of the way. That orange wire is the input for all of the turn signals, lights, and anything else you kind of want, you know, stand, neutral, all that kind of stuff, fuel level. That's the input thing back into the Motor Gadget Pro. So I ordered one of these off eBay, actually. It was 30 odd quid. That will arrive probably while I'm at work this week, and I'll have a go at fit that next week. However, it has thrown some strange wiring things out which I wasn't quite sure about. So for instance, the brown wire on here goes to that ignition point there, whereas mine, on my diagram, goes to the key. Maybe it's the same end of the same circuit, who knows, but interesting. Anyway, this I found yesterday from the remarkably good Revival Cycles website, and it's the first time I've seen these two things wired together. So I have to have a think about that and revise my plan. Okay, so there's the bars off completely. Let me show what I'm doing here. I'm having a second attempt at using my indicator lights as the mounting bolts for the headlamp. So what I've done since I last failed at this, I've made a slight adjustment. I've bent my headlamp ears a little bit. I'm also using thin bolts. One is a lock against here and one is a lock against here. So let me just try out the size. tighten them up a little bit later. You want to get the rotation right. So let me just see. I like this because it does. Let's kick my stand there, because it does tidy up them wires so well. Yeah, tidies them up so well. Oops. Okay. Right, let's try that on the bike. Okay. They look quite good actually, I have to say. A lot neater than having wires going through those holes, aren't they? Right, so what I've done, I've just put some heat shrink over those cables. That's this one here, and I've fed the heat shrink out along the same line as the headlamp cable. I'll actually do a cable tie on that in a second, and then that's come through here. So now I've got, in this style of wires, I've got my headlamp socket cable thing. I've got my indicator wires here, and I've got my motor scope control wires. So that's starting to already look quite tidy. That's on full lock. Next bit then to do is the handlebar switch and handlebar wiring. What I have done is, have you ever done something and thought you'd captured it and then realised you hadn't? Well, anyway, I've just talked you through me beautifully creating this heat shrink on my handlebar cables and didn't film any of it. So anyway, here's the end result, which is rather marvellous. I've got this one at the back is the one that goes into my handlebars that I heat shrink up. I've got two connectors on the brake switch, if you recall. They go into here. One's an earth and one's going to the Motorscope Pro. And then I've just threw some heat shrink over that, and I'll feed that through the same cable hole as the rest of it. Yep, that's what I'll do. Okay, so that's done for this week. So front end tidied, I'd say, job done. Next job will be to tackle that. So on a serious note, that's all the front end on, electrically that is. And I need to secure, I won't do any tie wrapping and securing until I know where everything's finally going to be, and I've got some loom around it. But yeah, I'm going to basically, my plan is to take all of the earths from the front of the bike and put them on the front earth, and any earths from the rear of the bike on the back earth of the M-Unit Blue. So I've run out of time today, so I'll get this one uploaded for your delectation, and we'll continue next time. Thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed that one. Lots of stuff part way through. Apologies, push for time. It's a bank holiday Monday, and I've run out of time basically. Work tomorrow. Okay, hope you liked it. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already subscribed, because there's loads of these videos to watch. Comments, questions, all that good stuff, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.